Alright, let us continue. What was going on? As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, hold it. What is it, Mr. Wright? If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness, about requesting a hit. Yes. How much is your fee? He's not gonna tell us? Oh, great. I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney. Yes. Huh? If you would like to talk business, we can do so after the trial. Great. No, I'm not thinking of hiring. No, Mr. Wright. Yes? You. Great. You want to kill me. You want me dead, don't you? Great. What? Why would you think something like that? Guilty, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You are hereby declared guilty. I have not even done anything. Witness, let's continue. What? Why did you disclose the name of your client? They are your client, are they not? One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. So he thinks I want to hire him. But I don't, obviously. I'm just wasting time. Tampering. What sort of tampering? I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill. It's his job. If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job. That's correct. Yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you. However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party. What do you mean? You're both guilty. That goes without saying, Mr. the Killer. And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought they could run away from their guilt. Well, not really. My client did it to frame another for the crime. Who another? Are you talking about the button and the knife? Yes, and my business card. Did he take it? Oh, this card. So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. So he loves the police, apparently. I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. To try to make things easy. My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service. He's pretty devoted to his work, so yeah, so his client doesn't have to worry about it getting pinned on them. But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. I mean, he's not. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning he was dead. Even more appalling is the button and that. Broken the rules, okay. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene. So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing? That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves, makes sense. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too. No. I already told you I have no intention of using your services, ever. The judge is like, what the hell? Why does he keep looking like at me like I am the one on trial here? Thinks I'm gonna hire him. Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Joan Corrida was dead. Hold it. From the very beginning. That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. No. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. So why do you think your client did that? What do you mean by why? Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who has requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway? Pin it? That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ungard. If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it? I guess he doesn't do that. Sadly, that is not possible. Huh? My job is to kill, that is all, and to leave my business card behind, naturally. Well, you also fetched the freaking toy. The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall. That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. And that's all you have to testify? Yes, and I pray that I will never be called to the stand again. Again, as in you plan to continue. I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor. Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? No. Excuse me? No, I'm fine, really. Judges. Are you really now? I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you going to do now, Phoenix? All I can do now is expose the lies. That is true. However, you realize that will be very bad for our client, right? I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Yeah, we need to keep going. So hold it again here. So you are saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing. That is correct. Usually most people have to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, you plan for your alibi. I have no intention of using your services ever. Okay, that's not right then. Okay, already knew. I think this is something wrong here. From the very beginning. That is correct. From before my client visited the room. By your client, what do you mean? All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times. I wonder if that's really true. That's odd. Yeah, what is odd here? We'll save here. I think here also we can pin something on him. Why do you think they did that? What do you mean by why? It's risky. Frame. Why didn't you do it? That is not possible. Kill and leave my business card. I think right here we can show the figurine. This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly? Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Corrida was dead. And something is odd there. Yeah, why would her fingerprints be on the cup then? Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. the Killer. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Corrida had been murdered. But how? How do you know that? From this wine glass, Your Honor. The glass. Mr. the Killer's supposed client thought Mr. Corrida had only fainted. Which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim. But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan? No, no. That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind. I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon? Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? Oh no, it's important. I am afraid you are mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Corrida's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes, that I am working against you. Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation? Oh, Phoenix. If the killer figures out what we are up to, we are in real trouble. Yeah, I know. Objection. Mr. Edgeworth, I am surprised. You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry. Hmm. Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you. Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. We need to save Maya. Also, I didn't figure out what I have to send to find out where freaking Gumshoe is. Request taking. This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes. Okay. So you physically met your client, huh? Oh, I made a mistake. I hit the self-diagnosis button on my monitor. Okay, great. I was supposed to put on. Oh, it's already on. Local taming. That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Alright. Request taking. Cross-examination. How does she look like? This request came to me, about a week ago. 1 week ago, are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations. And I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please, stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. A specific date and time? It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. Yeah, why would she want that anyway? There's so much attention there. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? Press further. So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear with the suicide note. My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corrida's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. You just said you don't do that. Must be talking about this bear puzzle. Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference, after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? It was very important. The testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with the testimony. I'm wasting time. It's just wasting time. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with the brief pause? Press further. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client by looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? It was very important. Everything is. Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the Killer had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he is mistaken. Great. So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews? I guess so. You see, it is just as I said. I am so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? You're wasting time as much as possible. This is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I have made no mistakes. Hold it. So your client was Adrian Andrews. That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met. But if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. Ask about her appearance. Have to draw more information from him, but you can't draw his suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. Okay, we're back here. About a week ago. Hold it again, let's see. 1 week ago, are you sure? Yes, I'm quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations. And I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind. Please stop. In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind. Specific date and time, okay, so nothing new there. It was a request for my services on the night of the award ceremony. Let's hold it again. Did you ask why on that specific night? No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions. Your suspicions, huh? Press further. So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night? I'm sure it was all for the bear. The bear? My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Corrida's room. There were so many, by the way. I would like you to retrieve that item for me. He must be talking about this bear puzzle. Besides, that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? Very important, I guess again. The testimony just now has made one thing clear. And that is, the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. They all knew. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet? Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that. Oh, really? Witness, please continue with the testimony. Okay, nothing new there. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. Hold it again. So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right? Of course I did. What was that? What was with the brief pause? Keep pressing, let's see. Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details. I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client by looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? It was very important again. Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. the killer had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he is mistaken. So you are saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews? I guess so. You see, it is just as I said. And he's gonna go, Gah! I am so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax. Now then, would the witness please continue? Okay, so nothing changed there also. That is what occurred. I trust memory and I believe I have made no mistakes. What if I hold it? So your client was Adrian Andrews. That is correct. Well, he says the two of them met. But if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Doesn't need anything strange. You have to draw more information. Okay, talk about delicate balance. Okay, so this is where I think something is wrong. We actually met. What was the pause? We pressed the pause. Any important? Not important, I'll say. No. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my question. Details about her. Well, what do you mean by that? My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person? I have already told you, Mr. Wright. I did. Him? It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance? It was very important now. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance. Huh? Really? If that's the case... Witness, please include the statement you just now in your testimony. Very well. From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client. I saw him, huh? Saw him. But as we now know, that was not how it turned out, correct? What do you mean? Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right? Well, yes. I suppose you are correct. So, I would like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate? Okay, here's the moment of truth. She's a lady. I don't think he knows that, or he slipped up. Shelly the killer, a professional assassin, always leaves a Shelly card near his victim's body. Objection! The girl. I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time. Yes, that is correct. And that's when you thought he was trustworthy? How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct. I'm sorry, but that is an impossible tale. Well, what? Shelly the killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews. Oh. But why would you say that? Because you made one very big slip up. About her. So what is the issue? He got it. Yep. But what did you say just now? About her? If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, Adrian is a guy's name. One look would have told you that she is a woman. Ooh! Oh my god. You blew up the freaking window. Oh, order! Order in the court. Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this? This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face to face with his clients when taking their request. but he has never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor, that is exactly the point.
That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews. What the hell, he's sweating oil. Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake? I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor. Her name? Yes, Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name. Yes, I see. Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with. Well, what? What is going on? Shelley the Killer. This court demands an explanation. I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now? Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more. I know he's just going to spit out more lies. How much time does Gumshoe need? Very well, but this time, please give us the truth, and nothing but the truth. Request taking, part 2. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. Great. So you took this job through a letter. He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he is definitely lying. Yeah? Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know, I can't make him suspicious, but he should be suspicious. I think we are okay, like we can do this. As long as he's standing there across from me, he's maintaining the balance. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it. Yep. Now then, let's begin the cross-examination. We keep this up. Cross-examination, request taking part 2. Yes, now I remember I took that request by mail. Hold it immediately. But didn't you just say that you always meet your clients? Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible. But didn't you meet your client this time? No, I did not. Oh, come now, let's stop with this game of cat and mouse. Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Good. Alright then, just cough it up and confess. Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. He's an assassin? You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. the Killer met with his client? I mean, I do have proof, right? Let's say I don't have though. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof. I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong.
There have been times when I took a job without having met my client.
The freaking bear is the truth, but whatever.
And why could you not meet certain clients?
Recently, I have been receiving more requests.
If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities.
On top of which, the times have changed.
It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope? He doesn't know what email is. Ah, I am very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I meant by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email? In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot, hands down. Ahem.
Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client,
And
the request was for the murder of Juan Corrida and 2 or 3 other small things.
what things? 2 or 3 other things. Yes. And what were these other things?
A few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
Really? What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It would be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad. That's why we can say, press. Whether or not they are related to this case is for the court to decide. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Oh, could it be that you are planning to betray your own client? That's... I smell the stench of a backstabber. And should you turn out to be one? Wait. Uh-oh, this is looking really bad. Alright, I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think, is this worth pursuing? I mean, just keep going, I have a save. Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were. If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine. The bear figurine. After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing. And where was that figurine? It was inside Mr. Correda's suitcase. And then, what did you do next? I handed it over to my client right away, so you met her. You gave it to your client. Interesting. This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish. That's what will get him. One of these was to find the bear figurine and to give it to Adrian Andrews. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man. Let's press here. So you're saying that you never saw your client's face, not even once? I did, once. Oh great. It was when I went to give my client the figurine. Yes, I see. But Miss Andrews was wearing a mask at the time. A mask? The nickel samurai mask, I'm guessing he's smart. Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about this? Do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? I don't flippin' know, man. There is a contradiction, I guess. One thing does sort of stick out at me, Your Honor. Witness, I think you most definitely saw your client's face. Let's recall Mr. Powers' testimony. Yep, no, not wearing a mask. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. Matt gave the bellboy a tip. You received quite a large roll of cash from Mr. Ungard. And at the time, he was not wearing his nickel samurai mask. Oh! But he was not the client, he says. Order, order. Yes, now that you mention it, I do remember that. Witness. Yes, that night I did wander the floor as a bellboy. I received plenty of tips that night for carrying juice to the various rooms. Is that so wrong? Huh? The man who gave me that tip was not my client. Was probably just a very generous person.
Objection!
Here's an objection. I'm sorry, but sadly we are not nearly so generous here. If I could receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I stand around here prosecuting? Oh, the deja vu. And isn't his salary more than enough for one man? And where is your evidence that the large roll of cash was in fact a tip? Was not in fact a tip. Come, Mr. Edgeworth, show me the money. What? Mr. Attorney. Yes? You know, I think your line of questioning has been a little strange. In fact, I would say you don't seem to believe Miss Andrews is my client. Oh, no, it's not like that at all. I just think lies aren't a good thing, you know. Oh, I know and agree. Lies are not a good thing at all. I think we are on the same page now, aren't we, Mr. Attorney? Remember, if I feel threatened in any way, I am free to cut contact at any time. I'm sorry, please forgive my foolishness. If only you were this apologetic all the time. Great. Anyway, I do not see a huge contradiction here. Therefore, you may continue, witness. We have pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Huh? Seems like we are still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we are going, we will end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation that will put us in. Oh yeah. All I can do now is pray that those items reach us in time. Yeah, I don't know if they are reaching us. By mail. Bear figurine. Save again and then push him on the bear figurine. I found this figurine at Mr. Ungard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was he doing there? I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Ungard, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony? There is a contradiction, I'm guessing. So the killer says he gave the figurine to Miss Andrews. But I know somewhere in that statement is that there is a contradiction. And yet, I know if I present something trivial here, he will cut the connection on his end. If you want to make a strong point, Phoenix, you have to present strong evidence. He's right. So now what, Mr. Dr. Wright? Save again. Let's show some evidence. Witness, let's go over this one more time. You gave Miss Andrews the bear figurine. And she told you to take the bear and wait for her at Unguard Mansion. Is that correct? Yes. Where are you going with this? Well, I think maybe you might have remembered a few things incorrectly. What? This is a battle of wits. I can't let up on it. I don't think it is possible for Miss Andrews to have been the recipient of this bear. Why? Why? The Corrida and Andrews know how to open it. Found inside the figurine, it tells of Unguard's horrible misdeeds. Why is it not possible? I think it's possible. Obviously means that I am wrong. But why am I wrong? Corrida and Andrews not open it, that's why. Kelly the killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. This item. I see where you're going. Yep, that's where I'm going. Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase? Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony. And I was going to burn it for her sake. Alright, yeah. If even for a single minute this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hand, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it. Yep. Order, order, order. So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that this suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client. Ooh. Got him again. Order, order, order. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Oh. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement. No, that's not. That's enough. If that is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do. Has enough time passed? Wait, please. Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to. No, please. Not that. Please wait. Well, Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise... Nah. What the hell? What in the... This Mr. Wright, are you Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there is a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough? Well, we should. Edgeworth, we can't do this. If we keep this up, Maya, she'll. Oh, the prosecution. Aye. What has come over everyone? Even you are. The prosecution rests. What is going on around here? The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor. What? Oh my god, everyone just keeps talking. Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation. If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. the Killer's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley the Killer's client is Adrian Andrews. Oh. Nah. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt and Guard, would be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews would be charged with murder. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder. Yeah? The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final remarks. Make it very long. Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt and Guard, to the stand. The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. Gumshoe, come on! The outcome now lies in your hand. What the hell? Dude, did the old guy finally decide? To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you are innocent. Ha! Is evil modding? So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out. Mr. Ungard. What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing as a spring breeze crap. It's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer? Should I side with justice or should I save Maya's life? What the hell is going on? You'd better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay? But if I did that, Maya will die. Where is Gumshoe? But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? The choice I make, someone's life is going to end. Great. It all hinges on what I choose. Now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt and Guard, is innocent. There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer is going to say what I want, aren't you? Right. I can't do this, but I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Where is Gumshoe? My client, Matt and Guard is. Oh, I have no save options here. He's guilty. I said guilty. Oh, he didn't say anything. We are waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt and Guard, your client deserves an answer. Maya, I'm sorry. Matt and Guard is. Oh, she's. Francisca won karma. She has come with the items. Yay! Francisca, my savior. But what are you doing here? Ow! You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool, for she has the detector. Did you bring them? The final pieces? Do you have them? Oh, she was the answer. She has the what the hell? You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this. What a filthy old coat this is. That's Gumshoes. I can spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in. I have fought long and hard this whole trial. All for what is inside that raggedy coat. I am sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence. Your final evidence? Let's open it. This trial is already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now change the outcome of this trial. Well, what? Objection! Yes, an objection. Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence. I suppose you are right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Oh. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please. These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police. He must have been in quite a rush. Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we are about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That is all we can hope for. Yep. The first item is a pistol. Doesn't help me. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case? Question for more details, of course. Does that pistol have any relation to this case? We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case. At least with me. Oh, you shot her. No. That's the pistol that you used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes. Oh. I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test. So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Franziska. It's probably not going to help us very much. Pistol added to the court record. A small caliber pistol that is thought to have been fired by the killer at Franziska. The second piece of evidence is this videotape of the murder, probably. I bet the killer took that from unguarded mansion. Question, obviously. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to. Oh yeah. But I would speculate that this tape is very important. Why would you say that? Because he came back to his hideout for it. Oh. The killer went back for it, so you caught him? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injured 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelley the killer is no ordinary man. Videotape added to the court record. One of the items retrieved, the killer violently tried to recover it. Contents unknown. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Okay. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Keep questioning, of course. Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of the pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform. And what is that? There is a button missing on this uniform. Oh. A button. It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. Bellboy's uniform added to the court record. Worn by the killer on the night of the murder. One of its special buttons is missing. That is all I have to present, Your Honor. It's just as I thought. And what is that, Your Honor? I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelley the killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing. It is who is the client. Yes, that is correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. But the tape does. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now. Wait, Your Honor. Please allow me to examine this new evidence. Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict. Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But no matter how you think about it, it's try. For my sake, just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of the situation for us. The first Make and guard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict. What? Huh? The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Angad himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go. That may be true, but that's asking me to do the impossible. The second way, force the killer to end his contract with Angad. If the killer were to no longer think of Angad as his client, then he would let Maya go. Mia, that's even more impossible. He is a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else. I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first. At first, what are you talking about? But if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle. Yeah, exactly. The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he is not accepting them. Phoenix. Think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us? Oh, the other side. Wait, does she mean... You mean to turn things around? Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence, the killer? The defense, prosecution, and the judge. We have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. Okay? But there is one person who has yet to see them all. And that person does not know the truth. Adrian? Who? That truth. It may be what will bring about the miracle in the end. Who needs to see them? There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict. Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids?
Objection!
I have an objection. Said no. I have already told you, Mr. Wright. This court does not need any more evidence. I am not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor. Oh. Then you want to show the evidence to that person? The killer? Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance. One chance. Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person.
Objection!
Objection. That's impossible to turn this situation around in one try. One try. That is all I will permit. I have to try to remember. I don't know what you want from me. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way to save Maya while taking Angad down at the same time. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Would you like to show evidence to? Telly the killer? Try and turn things around for him, but how? Show him that we have the tape. Or show him that we have his coat. Show him that we have the gun. I don't think the gun matters. Oh, he really wants this though, right? Maybe that's it?
Take that!
The killer? I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you will have to show this person.
Take that!
That we have his tape. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there is some merit to showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, it looks like I managed to convince him. Did I though? Was I right? I think maybe. Because he really wanted that tape. Maya, she's okay, right? Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence. Yes. Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back. That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape. I thought so. I am afraid I seem to have failed in that regard. You know the contents of this tape. Oh, I was sternly told by my client not to watch it because it is you murdering, it's taking insurance. Right, who told me it is insurance? It's insurance against him. So I have absolutely no idea. Actually, you are on this tape. Me? There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. Wow, what? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Who? Who was it that planted a camera? Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. Oh, that was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right? Yes. That was so they could film you. I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? To try and have blackmail on you? I would like to know why. Why did Matt and Gart film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There is only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted to see who and get it and wanted blackmail on you. Yep. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I am no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay and even blackmail him if I want to. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? Oh! He doesn't like that. It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning. Yes, by a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness. Yes? You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? Hmm, that's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then that client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. Oh, Red. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it. This is how we'll turn this case around. Mr. Wright. Yes? My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item. What the? I'm not an item. Beep. Great. Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. Well, we got what we wanted. Now he's guilty. Done. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I am sort of. I don't quite know what happened. Ah! Miss Von Karma, where did that? It was him? She always has you in her sight. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. And we'll wait for that. And we'll see it in the next one, because it's getting late.